Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. We're doing Chill and Chat on a Sunday evening. I think I may be the only one streaming tonight. I was looking for 19K Fox. Didn't look like he was going to stream tonight, as well as the Cornercade. It didn't seem like he was. Maybe he'll pop up later tonight. But I'm going to start at my usual time early. That way, if they do decide to stream, I'm not overlapping. That way you guys get the most out of your Sunday evening and get to see as much home arcade content as possible live on YouTube. But I hope you guys are having a good night. It looks like we've got 3 people in the chat so far. Good to see Thumper Squid saying hello, wonderful gamers. Sunday, fun day, absolutely. And we've got work off tomorrow, so cannot wait to have another day off before I start work on Tuesday. JJ says, been enjoying your hiking pics. Those drone shots are terrific. I'd love to see some Arcade1Up bring something new to Comic-Con, but I don't have my hopes up. Well, they're definitely bringing something. The Cornercade leaked this. He basically, I guess, has direct contact with Arcade1Up now. They've been like messaging him, I guess, on his Facebook or maybe on Discord somewhere, having direct conversations with him like, what would you like to see us make? And he leaked the news that they're going to be at Comic-Con here in a couple months, showing off some new cabinets. And I think there's at least 2 new cabinets we haven't heard of, as well as the Sonic the Hedgehog. And what else? Probably they may be showing off that new Joust Rampage there as well. But 2 new arcades that we haven't heard of yet. And I'm not sure if we know if they're going to be like the XL Supreme or the Deluxe. Which is the, what do we call the Deluxe, the Ultra series. It's going to be one or the other. I don't know if we know yet. But I do have a pretty good idea on what one of those 2 cabinets will be, and I think it makes a lot of sense, and we'll cover that tonight. Papa Brad's Gaming is here as well with his emojis. If you guys become a member, it's only 99 cents per month. And we have Dark Tech, it is, who just joined our memberships last month. And I'm going to update the website here soon with him and his YouTube page. So if you guys want to be featured on there, listed, all it is 99 cents a month. I'll add you to the members channel page on athomearcades.com, and it'll link directly to your YouTube channel. So thank you guys for the support. Really helps. It's not a lot of money. I mean, it's less than $1 a month, but hey, it just helps in knowing that I'm doing a good job. You guys are enjoying the content, and it does help support like the website hosting and stuff like that, which is very minimal cost, but it does help with that. And you guys will get a badge as well. And since Papa Brad's been a member for over 2 years now, he's got that 2-year badge. I'll have to make a 3-year when we get to that point. But hope you guys are all having a good night. I've got a poll going here as well. We've already got 10 votes, which is huge. I mean, like, we've already got 10 people in the chat that have already voted here. But the vote is, or the question is, are you picking up the World of TMNT Pinball? And it's yes, no, or maybe. And right now we've got 60% saying no, 20% saying yes, and 20% saying maybe. So when we get into that subject, I'll kind of tell you where I'm at on it. But I do have good news. I've gotten the Wonderland working. There was a small issue, and we'll go over that here later on in the stream, but small issue. I made a community post about it as well, where the sensor is supposed to line up perfectly where the ball drains, and that's how it senses if the ball had drained or not. Well, evidently one of those sensors fell down, completely fell off, and was just hanging by its cable or its wire. And as soon as I unscrewed everything in the apron area, I could see there that it was just dangling. And as soon as I pushed that back up in there, now it works great. I had like a 1.5 million score right after I did that. So everything seems to be working pretty good now. I did run into like a couple of just minor things, but those don't bother me. I just want it to play, and it plays now. Stancy B is here as well. He's saying, hey, Biggie D, Arcade1Up gave the Comic-Con info in a chat on Arcade Insiders a couple weeks ago in response to a chat question about when more stuff will be coming out. Yes, I've seen Arcade1Up official in the chat, like really active. Seen them in Corner Kids Arcade Insiders chat. You know, they're active, and I can see them in there. So they're dropping clues, and that's where I got the confirmation confirmed with the K, thinking that it was going to be MK, and it actually was an MK cabinet. It just was Joust and Rampage. It had MK on it. So I guess that fit what they were hinting towards, but it wasn't exact, right? Stanzy also says, I don't think Cornercade has any more intel than anyone else does, in my humble opinion. I think, too, like if he does have any inside information, he's probably got to keep that quiet. You know, he's probably under the agreement he won't share it unless it's approved, you know, and maybe if it's approved, he will. Fathhog is here saying, glad you finally got it fixed, Biggie. Yes, I'm happy to be able to say that I can play Wonderland, Alice Goes to Wonderland now. Because for the last like month and a half, I've just been staring at it, collecting dust, because I didn't want to mess with it. Now I can actually get in front of it and enjoy some pinball. And it also makes me more inclined to want to get the TMNT now too. And I've got to get the review out. I've been waiting to put a review out because I didn't want to just like, you know, trash it or say it wasn't working in a review. I wanted to get it fixed first. And I was waiting on the updates. When they dropped the firmware updates, it didn't fix it. It was just as bad. So Nick's Reviews reached out to me, said, hey, I think I figured it out. And he walked me through step by step what I needed to do. And we got it working. We got it fixed. So there should be a review coming soon. I was going to try and get it done this weekend, but this time didn't have the time to do it or even start it. So maybe I can get that out. And I've never been one to rush out reviews. I normally wait long after the release or long after I get the unit to do a review anyways. So there's no rush for me. I think that way it spreads them out. You don't get them all at one time. You can get one, you know, a few months after, and you can get more of like a full picture of what someone thinks about the machine after a period of time rather than just rushing out something immediately. Thumper Squid's hitting the like button. Make sure to hit that like button, guys, if you're in the chat. Fathhog says he has TMNT pre-ordered, and it isn't a Stern, but it is also not $6,000. Yes, so that's the key, right, with these, is they've created something at this amazing price point, less than $1,000, for a real mechanical pinball. No one ever thought that they could do it. And it's just offering something really new and amazing and fun. And I'm enjoying this one. You know, I was thinking about getting into the AT games, but, you know, you could have two of these for the price of like one 4KP with the SSF kit and all that. So I think this is the better deal, the better value for sure. Even though you're not going to get to play hundreds of virtual tables, you're going to have two real pinball tables, which you can spread your time over. All right, so let's first kind of get into some subjects here. The three main subjects tonight are going to be Wonderland, Arcade1Up, and Iconic Arcade. Also got some cavities filled on Thursday. My jaw was kind of hurting the first day or two. It hasn't today, but I haven't talked this much since I did that procedure. So we'll see how my jaw holds up tonight. But let's take a look at this. So this is the TMNT pre-order. Now the pre-order price started, it's supposed to be $1,100. That's the MSRP on this machine. And they've actually got an introductory price, which is, I think, amazing, $849. So let's take a look at this. Enter the sewer with TMNT Pinball, real mechanical pinball action designed for the home, affordable home pinball machine. You can pre-order it now, limited time price of $849. Now, we're going to pre-order it. This is a pre-sale. You're not actually going to receive it right after you order it. It's probably going to take, 5-6 months. I would imagine these probably don't get out till November, December, hopefully earlier than that, but I wouldn't predict any sooner than that. And who knows, with delays, you never know. It could be early next year. So it is a pre-sale, pre-order, and that's why you're getting it at such a low price, is you're really kind of helping them develop this table. As you can see, it says there, final artwork is not shown. So it's still in the development phase, but I think most of what we're seeing and what we're going to look at tonight is majority of what you would get. But there could be minor tweaks. There could be changes with this machine. So it is a pre-sale, and that's why it's so low. I don't think it would be this low of a price if you weren't getting it so early or putting in your money so early. So also another nice thing that they've just added, which we heard this week, was that all editions, whether you get the standard edition or you get the Turtle Power edition, is going to come with an upgraded turtle shell ball plunger, which I think this is pretty cool. It looks really good. A lot better than that just standard plunger like we have on the Alice Goes to Wonderland with that shell design. And it says it's built to last. So it just looks like, just generic plastic, nothing serious there. But they're saying it's built to last, and hopefully that holds up well. Should, from what their advertising is saying. And Stan ZB says he pre-ordered the TMNT 2. He has a Pro Stern as well as a Home Edition Plus. So you must have that Star Wars Home Edition. And he thinks it looks fun and will give folks something else to play during parties. Yeah, for this price point, I mean, it's so minimal compared to like what you're paying for even the Stern Home Edition at $5,000-$6,000. You could get 2 or 3 of these easily for half the price. Miga Cami is saying, I'm ordering the Turtle Power Edition as soon as I can confirm an address to send it to. Yeah, I know you're out in Tanzania, I believe it is, just south of Australia, I believe. You have to let me know if I got that incorrect. But getting these outside the U.S., I think they're even having or had some difficulty with Canadian shipments, but they got that figured out. But as far as like outside, the North America area, I don't know what the shipping looks like for that. So hopefully you can get that figured out and get an address that they can ship it to. I know you had a few issues with the Wonderland I overheard as well. So that is your turtle plunger. I thought this was really cool too during the pre-order, is that they kind of went over the artist, which is like a real comic book artist for IDW. And he has basically been able to develop and create this artwork from scratch. You can see some like playfield concept sketches here, which I thought was really cool to kind of get an idea of what his like initial idea was for the playfield. And you can see Krang in there. You've got a lot of characters, Splinter on the playfield, a lot going on there that we didn't actually get. Casey Jones as well. I wish he would have been able to use all these characters on the playfield because we didn't actually get any of them. I wonder if that was Wonderland saying, hey, we just need to tone it down a little bit. We need to stick to like the main characters, the main Ninja Turtles, and maybe Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady. But I didn't see Krang anywhere, and I didn't see Casey Jones. But in this concept art, you do. So I wonder if we'll see more concept art coming up in the future, because I doubt this is all it is. But then you can see there, that is where they got the inspiration or the idea for the topper, is with the Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady there in the concept art. And then you can see some of the other comic books he's worked on. I found it interesting. He did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Godzilla comic book. Makes me want to go check these out now and read them, because we're going to have like 6 months before this thing probably comes out. So we got plenty of time to read up on these comics. If you guys remember, I picked up the Last Ronin comic on Amazon, and I've been reading through it ahead of time. Of course, it's not the same story or artwork, but it is the IDW comic book art. So good read. And I've always loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up. They were one of my favorite cartoons, favorite comic books. And then, like, I used to draw a lot, very artistic person myself, and I used to love drawing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was one of my favorites. So I've got a huge place in my heart for this brand, this IP, and the artwork that they're going to be doing on this table. But yeah, real comic book artist working on this. Now, one thing that they're saying is that they're saying that this is 100% custom art, or that they were advertising that at one point. I don't know if they're doing that anymore. And if you guys know me, even though like I was a influencer, right? Like they had picked me for a review unit for Alice Goes to Wonderland, I'm still like 100% for the audience, for you guys. I want you guys to have the full picture, all the information. At no point am I going to hold back on that. And I think companies like Wonderland Amusements will respect that. If what you're giving is true, if the information you're giving is actual, true, and accurate, I think that they can respect that to a certain degree. And I didn't hold back on this at all. But I posted it on At Home Arcades. I'd also made a community post about it. But it looks like the side panel artwork on the cabinet is not custom. You know, I mean, it may have a slight difference in color to the turtles, but the actual positions, the artwork itself is almost identical to the T, to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan PS4 game. And you guys can see it here. I mean, I don't have to tell you. I mean, it's dang near identical, right? Michelangelo, the position he's in, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello. I mean, it is a straight copy and paste, it looks like to me. And it looks like all they've done is they've changed up the colors a little bit of the turtles. So once we get a better idea of, you know, what the playfield's going to exactly look like, because they're still in that development phase, still working on that, maybe this could change. I mean, for all we know, they could change the entire artwork on the side, because they said that this is just a prototype and that the final artwork has not been decided yet. So maybe this was just put in place just for a visual for us. I'm not sure. But it's definitely not custom, right? Or not, I don't think custom enough to be able to say that this is fully custom artwork, because it's exactly the same image that we've seen on this PlayStation 4 game that came out, I don't know, 18 years ago, right? But just taking a look here, here's a better shot of the side panel, where you can see it here. It looks pretty good. If they were to stick with this, I think it looks great. I don't know if the back glass art on the side there, if those turtles are the exact same art or artist as what we're seeing on the playfield cabinet art. It looks pretty close, but I don't know if it's the same or not, or if these are two different artists or two different comic books, or what the story is behind that. But if you look on here, it says final product may vary. So all this could change before the final product releases. And I'm sure they'll be sharing that with us along the way as this artwork, if it does change, what it's going to end up looking like. But here's the features that they were advertising. They were advertising real mechanical pinball action, multi-ball mayhem, iconic TMNT artwork, 22 millimeter steel ball, which when I first heard about this smaller ball, like for pinball, I was like a little worried about that. I thought it would travel too fast, or it'd be hard to follow, or it just wouldn't play very well. But in my experience with Alice, especially now that I've got it working, it's just fine and it works good. And I've noticed even in like the mainstream pinball community, like some of the mainstream pinball like websites and news outlets are covering this table. So I think the mainstream pinball community is starting to pick up on this product. And I think some of them had a chance to play it at like Texas Pinball Festival, and they're happy with it, right? They seem to enjoy it. I even heard Justin Console Kits, which has like 10 or 12 of these machines at his house, personal, Stern machines. He got a chance to play it at Kong's house recently, I overheard on a stream, and he enjoys it. Like, he likes the gameplay and the even having the smaller ball and the smaller play field, seems to really enjoy it. So that should say a lot coming from someone that has all like the newest Stern tables. Now, I did get a chance to play it with Retro Ralph at Texas Pinball Festival, Alice Goes to Wonderland, and I don't know if he was as high on it as what we heard from Justin. I've actually not heard him actually publicly comment on this machine yet. So, or if he hasn't really commented on whether or not he likes it. But for me, not owning any Stern tables or real machines, it's a blast to play. I love it. I think it's one of the best things to happen for home arcade, is for them to make a product at this price point that's fun to play, that you really enjoy, and you get a lot of fun out of it. So it says the ramps, targets, and real shots. Now, a lot of speculation out there on the pop bumpers. People want to see those. We had them on the Alice Goes to Wonderland. Visually, we can't see them in there. We're going to look at a couple of videos, and I don't see them advertising any pop bumpers as well. And you don't see it in the features. I feel like if that was included, they would be using that as a selling point. So if they are going to include them, I don't think they've been included yet. Even a single pop bumper, I don't think has been included on the playfield as of yet. So when you hear people saying that or speculating on that, I just don't know if there's much backing that. And I don't know if that's even a reality, right? I think they would have used that up front as a selling point and been really clear that it would have included those. It does say it's Wi-Fi enabled updates. That's really cool. So on the Alice, I recently got an update, firmware update, just automatically got pushed to the machine, went smooth. We got like more sounds, better code now. So they'll have that with this. And that's important with TMNT because you've got this whole world of TMNT theme, right? And license. What are they going to do with the DMD? What are they going to do with like the cutscenes in between the code of the game? They could, have a whole story behind this, and that'd be really interesting to see, what they come up with there. Vibrant LED lighting, high quality speakers. The speakers are great. I do like that they say vibrant LED lighting. I'm hoping they're going to improve the lighting. It does look like from the short clips that we have on the videos that we're going to look at next, that the lighting does look better. And that was kind of a drawback on the Alice Goes to Wonderland. It is a little dark, especially down at the lower portion of the playfield where the flippers are at. There's not much light down there. So for them to advertise that as a vibrant LED, hopefully they've improved that quite a bit. And built to last and play hard. And I think these machines are built to last, but you guys got to understand that it is going to be a project, right? You're going to be doing maintenance on it. You're going to be cleaning it. You may even have to do replacements. I saw a short, I believe it was James Hates Everything in our community. He did a short recently showing how you can retighten up the flipper, because the flipper module can actually come loose and start coming unscrewed, and then it won't work right. Well, he did a really good short that showed you how to tighten that up. And really, these things are easy to work on if you just know what you're doing. Like when I had to go in there and fix mine, and I've got an image here I can share with y'all. But when I went in to go fix mine, I was reluctant to get in there because I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't want to mess anything up. But with Nick's reviews on the other end helping me, kind of walking me through it. And he had already tested it and already done this himself. I knew I was pretty much safe to go ahead and follow his instruction. And there were 8 screws underneath the playfield I had to unscrew. As soon as I did that, the plastic apron comes off. And then I was able to see the culprit and see the reason why I was having those ball launch issues. It all came down to just a sensor on the left side being fallen off, like it had completely fallen out of its slot, because they're not glued in, they're not screwed in, they're just stuck up in that plastic and they're supposed to stay there. Well, I guess during shipment or something, it came a little bit loose. And as I started playing it, because it actually played really good like the first few days I owned it. But I guess during use of play, it eventually just fell completely out of its slot. And that's the reason why I was having so many issues, because one sensor was straight while the other one was kind of pointing up, and it was catching that ball, but it wasn't reading it how it should. The lasers are supposed to point directly towards each other and be direct, like pointed at each other for it to read properly. So once you put that up in there and you slide it in, now it's working great. The ball launches every time. It never hesitates, not having any issues. So I got really lucky that it wasn't a big deal. It was just having to, know what to do. And I think that's the biggest thing that I could say that Wonderland needs to improve on, is a lot of us out there that owns this machine, we're doing our own troubleshooting, we're doing our own maintenance, and we're figuring these things out on our own. The customer service is very much lacking at Wonderland Amusements. Like, you can only contact them by email, and they're not very responsive. And even when they are responsive, they don't really know what they're doing. Just to be frank with you, they just do not have an idea of what to do to help you, other than maybe send you a part, which they're probably not going to do that too often. They wouldn't make any money. So I think, it's really coming down to the community helping each other, and we working with each other to figure things out on our own and share that with everybody. I've been doing that in the 4K pinball, officially unofficial 4K pinball group. And I do see Shotgun Sean in here. He's always getting on to me because I'm putting the Wonderland Amusement stuff in this 4K pinball group, which the moderators in this Facebook group have completely said it's okay to share, Wonderland Amusements pinball stuff in there. People even share Stern pinball stuff in that group. It's open to that. The moderators are totally cool with it. And the only reason I'm doing that, I would put it in the Wonderland Facebook groups, but I think Mike B banned me from one of those groups, and then his Super Game Rib Dudes co-host banned me in the other. So I just I don't have any other place to go other than to the officially unofficial 4K pinball Facebook group to talk this stuff with other people that own this machine. So just FYI, and I didn't even do anything to get banned or to get kicked out of those groups. They just, for the one that Michael B's friend runs, they just kicked me out, flat out kicked me out, no reason, nothing. And then the other one, which is the one that is the co-host on Super Game Room Dudes, he just, like, for whatever reason, wanted me to take down a video from like 4 or 5 months ago, which I never take down videos. I never delete videos. And it was that short about people wanting to leave the home arcade community, and where he had basically said in the short, I posted a video of him saying it, that he was tired of the drama and he just wasn't enjoying coming to the home arcade community because of all the drama and all the people like backstabbing each other and all that. He said it himself. I was just reacting to it, and he wanted me to take that video down, and I didn't do it. Stuck to my guns. I was like, no, I want it there for transparency. I want everyone to know, what's happened and what I've said and what you've said. And it's just good for everyone to see that and have that up there. And so he banned me from his Facebook group. So But I'm fine with that, you know. I mean, it's their group. It's a private group. If they want to do that, they can. But if you guys see me talking Alice Goes to Wonderland or Wonderland Amusements Pinball, it'll be in the officially unofficial 4K pinball group on Facebook. That's where you'll find me. Yeah, Carl. So is who did it. And, you know, I've gotten to the point now where, like, I'm much happier now just not even watching those guys anymore. Like, I don't watch the Super Game Room dudes anymore. I've actually cut out Michael B's content. I don't watch it anymore. Like, I watch everyone else, but I don't watch them anymore. And I'm just much happier. And I think for you guys coming here to watch the stream or to watch my content, you'll actually get more out of it because you're getting a perspective or you're getting a reaction or commentary that has nothing to do with something that they've said, right? A lot of times people will say in this community, a lot of people are saying the same thing. Well, that won't happen here anymore because I don't even watch their stuff anymore. And I realized, like, it took me a few weeks to a month to kind of get to that point. But I was just, like, unhappy watching their content. So I was like, why the heck am I doing this? And at a point I was doing it so I could react to it and then, share it with you guys. But then I got to the point where I was just unhappy even reacting to it. So now I just don't watch it at all. And if I may catch it on the Rexer show, right? Like, I may watch the Rexer show and I caught Michael B's stream or his review of the iconic arcade through the Rexer show. So maybe I'll see it there. But it's better for me to do it that way because then I can just give you guys 100% my take on things and it's not influenced or changed in any way based on things that they've said. So, yeah, went on a tangent there about that. And it was only because we were talking the Facebook groups. But let's get back to this Wonderland Amusements. So there's two different versions. There is the standard edition, which is that $850, and then you have this Turtle Power edition, which is $1,150. And this one is pretty interesting because it comes with this huge topper that goes on top here, on top of the back box, and it's massive. It's like the height of the back box. So, like, you can imagine just how high that's going to be on the back there, and it's lit up, backlit. So really looking forward to seeing what this is going to look like. I do hope that they improve the colors a little bit on that topper, though, because it does look a little bland, a little washed out. Hopefully they can get some more color in there to improve the topper. And then you've got the figures. So we're going to look at a couple of videos here next, which is going to show the playfield of the world of TMNT, just short clips of it. And you're going to see that the characters are just cutouts that are inserted on the playfield. Well, if you get this Turtle Power edition, which is like the premium edition, you're going to have actual molded figures, like action figures that go in the playfield that I think will look way better, right? So I know that with the Alice Goes to Wonderland, they've sold a lot of this stuff, aftermarket. Like maybe you just want to buy one of the action figures, or maybe you just want to buy the topper by itself. I think hopefully, if they do the same thing they did with Alice, they'll sell this stuff individually. So you don't have to buy it all at one time. But I think if you're going to pre-order, getting it all at one time, it's a bargain because it's $11.49 with all this. So check that out. And I did do a post or a page on At Home Arcades, which covers all this as well, like the day it dropped. So let's take a look at that here real quick. So here were the images that I'd showed of the playfield that I got. And then here's everything we just covered with those images. But here's your pricing, right? You can pre-order the standard at $849, or you can get the Turtle Power edition for $1149. And then you can click here and you can order it. But I do have a couple of videos here I wanted to look at. So let's look at this one first. And I've got it muted because I don't know if the audio is copyright or not on this, so we're not going to hear the audio, but that's all right. But we get some shots of the playfield here. I'll just let it run through that first time. It's pretty quick though. Like if you blink, you'll miss it. They don't show much, but we'll pause it on certain parts here. And we'll catch up with the chat here on any Wonderland stuff here at the end of this segment. Just want to get through these couple of videos and then we'll bring up y'all's chats. But it does say that artwork shown here is not final. I doubt they're going to change much though, because it looks pretty complete from what we're seeing here. There's improvements I think that they could do though, like the flippers. Like they definitely do need to do flipper rubbers or do colored flippers. I think would be a huge plus. You know, pop bumpers. I hear a lot of people talking about like we need to get a pop bumper in there. And there's places in the back of the playfield where I heard James Hates Everything's talking about on his stream. There may be an area in the upper middle back area where there could be a pop bumper. I do like you have the what do they call these on the sides here? This art blades, right, on the side, and they're not actually art blades. They're actually already on there. Like you don't get them aftermarket like you do on a Stern and put them on yourself. They're already on there like as soon as you get the table, which that's a nice feature to have even on the standard to be able to get those art blades. And I think they look really good on this TMNT. But one thing you have to be aware of and something you need to be like careful of is when you're taking the playfield up and out of the cabinet to do maintenance or to get the balls out or, you know, whatever you got to do under there. I've noticed on the Alice, it scratches the art on the art plates when you pull that playfield out. So you got to be really careful. And I don't know how we're going to try to prevent that. You know, it's a little too late now on mine. Mine's already kind of scratched up on the sides there. And kind of a bummer, you know, because you can't just like buy the art blades and put them over that and fix it that way. So I wonder what our plan is for this one, because you definitely don't want to screw the art up on this, on the sides. So maybe there's like some plastic you could put down on the sides there to protect it when you lift the playfield. I don't know what the trick will be for that, or what we'll do to protect it, but or maybe they'll make the playfield just a little slimmer by just like a millimeter or two to give it a little more room so it won't scratch when you lift it. But you can see there how the playfield looks really good. You want to keep it clean like regularly. You want to take the glass off and you want to wipe down that playfield, keep it sleek and clean so the ball travels well. And then you can see those cutouts I was talking about too, where if you get the Turtle Power Edition, you're going to get the molded figures, which you put those in, it's going to probably look a lot better than these little cutouts that they've included. And then there's the sides. I'm not seeing anything really new on that, except for we did see that they're going to have the turtle shell plunger coming out, which we do not see in this video, because they did that just like this last week. I do like the lights for each turtle. It looks like you're going to light up like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I guess that fourth one, which is their color, right? Red, green, blue, all that. It'll like go into like a turtle power mode or something when you energize each turtle like to its maximum power. You'll probably go into like a different mode for that. So interesting to see. And then there's a good shot of the side art. Here's your like tunnels. So you got all these different tunnels for the back of the playfield, the very back there. That's one good thing about this table is like when you are able to shoot up onto the rails and stuff, it's a lot of fun. Having it covered like that with like the sewer tunnel, I think it's going to make it even more fun because you're not going to see the ball traveling. You're just going to hear it and you're going to know it's going to come out at some point, and you'll have to anticipate that. It'll just make, I think, the level of play a little more fun and a little more engaging. Just, hiding the ball, I thought that was a unique idea what they did there. And then this is where I think that if they're going to do anything, like if they're going to improve anything, they need to get us some better flippers. Like I'd like to see some green colored flippers, right? Not black. And then if anything, get us the rubbers, right? Right out the gate, right? Like some green, fluorescent green, neon green rubbers on there would even do the trick. I think people would be even happy with that. If they just go with these generic black ones that we got, that everyone was unhappy with on the Alice, I don't think that's going to go over very well. You know, I know they got to work within a certain cost, and these are low-cost machines, $849 for all of this. But if they could just squeeze out, you know, even some neon-colored flipper rubbers to put on there to brighten it up and to be able to see them a little better, I think that would go a long way. And they're advertising responsive flippers. I don't know if those are any even upgraded from the other one. Mission progression, and I think that's your modes there, is getting the turtles lit up and maxed out. And that is interesting. I just noticed this when I was looking at this, but catch this. Okay, that's cool, right? So each color, right, of the turtle actually changes based on where you're at in the progression, right? So I thought that the colors were at the top and it would just go white, 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 and then you get the turtle color at the top. But the turtle color actually changes with the progression of where you're at and what stage. That's really cool. That's awesome. Because watch, now it was on 2, now it's on 3, now it's on 4. That's awesome. And I think this is where James Hates Everything was saying that there's going to be a pop bumper under Shredder here. And I don't think we have any evidence of that. I don't think we have any way of saying that that's going to actually happen, unless he's got some inside info or knowledge of that. I would not foresee or predict that until they start advertising it, which they have yet to do. I would not expect it. I think if it was, that's a big feature and it's an expensive feature. I think it's one of the most expensive components of the Alice machine. They would have included that in the advertisement if it was included on this machine. You've got that pizza shop up in the upper right. I think that's going to have some light up features to it, and then you can kind of put your characters up there on that ledge there to the left. And I think that's where the molded figures really come into play, is like they're just going to look so much better up there than these cutouts do. And then you've got I like the green rings around the speakers. I think that's going to look really good. Nice addition. Just going just that little extra mile to make sure it looks even better. So that's pretty good shots in that video. Like we didn't actually get to see like hands-on play. Like we didn't get a YouTube video from them where they were actually playing the machine. But for just like a promotion video, a promo video, I thought we got a pretty decent look at it from that. So here is the other, this is just a really short reel. It's only like a 10-second reel here, but it shows the features, right? And let's see what it's 3 ramps, 2 rails. Okay. 3 flippers. So I think that third flipper is the really big key here. Like that's going to be what really differentiates it from the Alice Goes to Wonderland, is you're getting that third flipper. And that just adds like a lot of like, I would say like a variety to the gameplay. When you hop on the Alice, maybe you get that pop bumper feel, you get more of that feedback. You get on the TMNT, you may not have that, but you got that third flipper. So that's going to add a lot to the gameplay, I think. They're advertising real pinball. Looks like the rails are looking like they're the exact same as the Alice. So that's what they're advertising so far. So we got a pretty good look, I feel like, at this machine just from those videos and from those images we've looked at so far. So let me,
Power on, auxiliary in.
I showed off some stuff I shouldn't be showing yet. Sorry about that. I was trying to get up into the chat here. And but you got a little preview of what we're looking at next. Fat Hawk says someone line up to help you, Amiga, on the shipment. And Tasmania is where, oh, I said Tanzania, didn't I? Which is in Africa. Tasmania. Sorry about that. And it is Australia, so I was right on that, but I got the name completely off. I do want to go to Tanzania, though, because they have a huge mountain there that I want to climb, Mount Kilimanjaro, which I should have known that because that's somewhere I want to travel to. Stanzi says, I'm guessing licensor told them what artwork they wanted Wonderland to use, at least what style. Let's see, Thumper Squid says owning a real pinball comes with some maintenance. Yes, that's key. I think everyone needs to understand is this is not virtual pinball. There is going to be some maintenance. There is going to be some, like regular, cleaning of the machine. There's going to be tightening up of components. Things are going to get loose. Things may break, right? And you're going to have to figure that out. And it's not going to be super easy to be able to do that through the Wonderland Amusements. You may have to do that through the community, find a friend that knows what they're doing to help you. And JJ's just talking about the home arcade creators are pretty toxic. Yes, and I hated to get into that, or disliked having to get into that tangent, but I felt like, it was something I wanted to be upfront with about, because, that way you guys know when you're coming here, you're getting something different, something that is not impacted or influenced in any way by some of those other channels when you come here. So that's actually a plus to know that, I'm just not a part of that anymore, and I'm not even watching that anymore. And I do wish the best for all those people. I really do. And I wish the community would get back to or be more like a lot of other communities where we uplift each other and we help each other, because it helps everybody. And we don't have to be that way, especially in such a small niche, community like this. And I got to be better myself at that. We just got to help each other, right? Burnt Orange says, let's see, saw some Burnt Orange. The colors are perfect. Super 80s vibe color. Prince Vinny is here saying, hey, pal, where did you get the X-Men versus MvC? So that we're going to look at that. We're going to get into Arcade1Up here next, and we got some good Arcade1Up stuff to talk about. And Burnt is saying that he's not regretting ordering the all-in package now for I believe he's talking about the Turtle Power Edition. Video Game Vegas is here. Good to see you, Video Game Vegas. He's saying no Vanilla Ice Bash toy and no Ninja Rap song during multi-ball. No buy. All right. And Prince Vinny just came in with a $1 or $2 super chat. Said, did you talk to Comic-Con yet? Did I miss? I have not talked about Comic-Con yet. So we're going to get into Arcade1Up. That's our next segment. Really appreciate the $2 super chat, Prince Vinny. Let's run a super chat video. I accidentally ran this just a moment ago, so we'll run it again. When we were supposed to get Alien versus Predator, you remember that? That was a sure thing. We had the renders, we had that promo advertisements for it. We had all the details laid out by Arcade1Up. They were going to do that 3-player AVP cabinet, and it just never happened. That's such a great beat 'em up game. Man, I hope they go back to the drawing board on that and make that cabinet. I really do. But I really appreciate the $2 also. Thank you. That means we hit the super chat goal, because I only had a super chat goal of 1 super chat for $2. All right. So yeah, we're going to do Arcade1Up next. You have not missed anything there. So we're going to start though with Mike of All Trades. He had a video, and you guys may have caught my video as well. I had done just a real quick short video during this, as soon as the news broke of it. You guys may have caught this, where I kind of broke down right before the actual official announcement on Arcade Insiders, some things that I thought were going to be with this machine, some questions that I had. We got all our questions answered during the Arcade Insider stream, and it was really cool because they had the creator of Rampage on there, and I thought that was one of the best interviews I have ever heard in our home arcade community. If you guys have not watched that Arcade Insider stream, you guys got to go back and watch it. He like nailed it on that interview, and it was so fun to watch, and it was like so informative and just like easy to follow. And you could tell like when they were interviewing the creator of Rampage, he really enjoyed it too. It wasn't until we got into the Arcade1Up stuff that I kind of saw he was kind of fading out and like wanted to leave. But when he was talking about the history of Rampage and making the game, and the history of his company and the history of the different games that he's made over the years, I just thought it was so much fun and formative, and got a lot out of it. So definitely go watch that. But on this, we're going to watch next a video, which is the Joust Rampage review, which was from Mike of All Trades. So this was his review. Go check him out. And I put his link to his channel here at the bottom, and there's no audio. We're just going to look at some clips from his video showing off this new machine. And it is like the Deluxe form factor. So it's the Mortal Kombat Deluxe. If you guys have that machine or you were considering getting that machine, it is the exact form factor, size, everything of the MK. It has the same PCB. It has the same games lineup, games list. Does have online, which is nice. So you get leaderboards, you get online play, and it does have what I had predicted, which was Mortal Kombat included on here as well. So that's nice to have that on there, even though you don't have MK art, you have those games included. So you can see it's a mashup cab, kind of like he called it. I watched Mike of All Trades review today, actually, in its entirety. And he did a really good review. He called it like a half and half, or he didn't like using a half and half. So he called it a hybrid cab because it has Rampage art and half of it is Joust art. One side's Joust, one side's Rampage. And it's got some really unique features, and he's showing it here where, and this was something I'd said in my video, was like I was hopeful it was just a slip-in marquee. You didn't have to unscrew the side panel. You just slip in the marquee and slip it out. So let's say you're in a Joust mood, you put the Joust marquee in it. You're in the Rampage mood, you put the Rampage marquee in it. And then you've got the same thing for the game deck as well. It was interesting. He had said that he likes the standard game deck, just the basic black game deck. And after watching his review, I have to agree with him on that. Just with that retro like line art around it and stuff, I thought it looked really good. And now let's say you do want to change out the artwork on the game deck, right? Let's say you decide you want Rampage one day and you want the Joust artwork on the game deck another day. I thought this was a cool feature too. They included a wrench where you can, remember when you put the ball tops on the Arcade1Ups, how the ball top always comes off? I've got a unique way of doing it. I'll put electrical tape around the threads of the where you screw on the ball top, and that seems to work pretty well for me. But it's kind of janky, right? It's not like the best way to do it. They've included now where this wrench where you can actually wrench tighten the ball tops or bat tops on it, so you can take them on and off as much as you want and not have to fear, is it going to come loose if I take it off? And then you don't have to use the Loctite and, it'd be forever locked on there anymore either. So I thought that was nice. So we get the addition of the marquees. We get the addition of the BOE monitor, which he shows here. We get the addition of swappable game deck art. And we get the addition of the wrench tightening for the ball tops. So even though this is the same cabinet as the MK Deluxe with just different artwork, it does have a lot of new features that we have never seen before in an Arcade1Up on this machine. So they have innovated in a lot of ways in 4 different areas. which is unique too. And like, what direction are they going to go going forward? Are they going to continue to innovate like this with new ideas? And what does that mean for future cabinets? Does that mean we're going to get a lot of half and half or hybrid cabinets going forward? Like where we can go between MK1, MK2, MK3, on a cabinet, or, what some of the other licenses, can we go like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, stuff like that. It's interesting to kind of imagine like what other ways that they could do this. Or if they get back into Sega, like, like you have the Golden Axe, but maybe you want like a different Sega game. Like could they have like 4 different Sega marquees? If you guys remember the Evercade, was it the Evercade that did the little miniature like 1/6 scale arcade that had the swappable marquees where you could take those in and out? They kind of started that idea, but it looks like Arcade1Up's starting to do it. And they went even a little farther by doing the game deck art. And then so the side panels are one side Rampage, the other side Joust, but then you got which I didn't like, the Joust logos up towards the top on both sides. I would have rather them, kept it all Rampage on one side, because it is kind of weird having the Joust logo above the Rampage on the right side. But they kind of made up for that on the bezel. If you look at the bezel, it's actually 60% Rampage, 40% Joust. So they kind of made up for that a little bit, kind of evened it back up by putting more Rampage on the bezel. But it is the same exact games list that we got on the MK. So all the same leaderboards, same games. If you guys own that one, you have experience with that machine, it's identical in there, as far as the gameplay and things like that. Hey, Dark Realms here saying, Biggie D, what's going on, buddy? Long time no here. I hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, it's been a few weeks or a couple weeks since I'd streamed last. I want to stay more consistent with this. It's just work has been crazy these last few weeks. So I've just been really having to buckle down and focus on, real life stuff. But I have been playing a lot of video games. And we're going to get into video games here at the end, because I've been kind of supplementing my content creator time with like my PlayStation 5 and my Switch and my PC, playing like a ton of video games, trying to catch back up. I got so many that I bought that I never even started. I was like, I got to just start playing these. Alan Arcade's here saying that he ordered the standard TMNT, that $849 pre-order. And Papa Brad's Gaming is saying it's all downhill after the intro. And let's see. JJ says that he has a Gen 1 Rampage cab that I had modded to expose hidden games like Gauntlet 2 and others, but it also has the ability to go into the back-end menu to change controller mapping so Defender works. That's really cool. Yeah, it does have a great games list. We're looking at a lot of the games here, and I like how they even, on this vertical game, right, how they included the bezel art on the sides. I think that's really cool. Neat addition, right? And not sure if that mod is still available. The fellow I used was very sneaky. He isn't in the business any longer, but he's worth investigating. Have to check that out. And Burnt Orange says, well, it's better than not having it. The soccer moms making these for their kids need things like this. And Prince Finney saying that Arcade1Up is now including tools. Yes. There's some bangers in here, right? Some good games. Wizard of War, Defender, Gauntlet. You got some good games on this list. I wonder, with the online, they can improve with updates, gameplay, features, things like that. I wonder if this being now a new release for them, they're going to go back to the drawing board and try to improve some of these games. If we watched Mike of All Trades review, he will say that they all play really well, except for Paperboy. He said Paperboy's just kind of weird playing it. Jib is here saying, what's going on, Biggie D in chat? How goes your night? Sorry, late to the show. I was watching racing pretty much all day. I saw the Indy 500 was on. I'll normally catch the Quarter Deck on Sundays, and I knew Quarter Deck wouldn't be streaming today because the Indy 500. But go check out Mike of All Trades review. Really good. I thought this one was much better, and I not that his Iconic Arcade review wasn't good, but I thought this review was much better than his Iconic Arcade because he got more to the point, and rather than doing that really long review, it was just like in a decent amount of time he was able to get all his points across, and it flowed well, and I got all the information that I needed. So appreciate him getting the early review unit and making a good review of this. The only suggestion I'll give, like if I could just give him one suggestion, like just one critique, is for Mike of All Trades not to have his instant messenger going during his reviews, because towards the tail end of his review, you're hearing the notification rings for his instant messenger or Facebook Messenger. I don't know what it was, but he needed to either edit that out or just be cautious, or just know that you shouldn't even have your instant messenger up while you're recording, because the mic will catch that. And there was like quite a few notification rings towards the end of his review. So just watch out for that. I'm more so just saying it from like a viewer perspective, like that's an area for improvement. But other than that, I thought he did a really good job. Mike Hawkhurt says, hi all. I think if they ever do more midway cabs or any cab in general, they really need to do the USB support to make the games like Paperboy playable. They did it for the Defender Partycade after all. And yeah, that was one of their best cabinets. Even though it was like a Partycade, the Defender was like one of their best. So they have that technology, they have that development already in the Partycade. How do you get that into their larger 3/4 scale Deluxe or XL? And JJ says the closest finish in the 115-year history of the Indy 500, it was like a photo finish horse race. Pretty wild. Wow. Yes, I've been digging Moat's reviews too. I think he's like one of the perfect people. Like if you're going to send out early review units to someone and give them like prime time, early access to these units, I feel like Moat's a pretty neutral, good person to use for that. And I think everyone, for the most part, is pretty happy with him as that source for that information. So definitely keep it up. All right, so that was the Rampage Joust review. Next, I want to get into some Comic-Con stuff. All right. So Comic-Con is coming up, and I thought that this news, because I someone that I've been watching a lot lately, and you guys can hate on me, you guys can give me a hard time if you want, but I've been watching the Cornercade. I've been subscribed and catching his stuff. I really enjoy his streams. He's just got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of good information in the streams, in between all his super chat videos and all that. He's got a lot in it. And it's entertainment, right? But he had basically, for me, or the first time I had heard it, was that Arcade1Up was going to be a Comic-Con in July, here in a couple of months. And they were going to be announcing new arcades. And then Arcade1Up Official was in the chat in the Cornercade stream last week, or on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day that was. He did 2 back-to-back streams. His first one, which I think it was Monday or Sunday, was like terrible. His video was just like so like pixelated. It was just terrible, right? But he followed it up with a really good stream the next night. And he had covered all this Comic-Con coverage, which is going to be coming up. Arcade1Up's going to have a booth. They're going to have a really big presence at Comic-Con. And just taking a look at this here. So it's going to be July 23rd through the 26th. And he said that there's going to be 2 new arcades there, brand new. But if we know Arcade1Up, they're going to utilize their development and their previous licenses, their previous, PCBs and games list from previous cabinets. We just saw it with the Joust and Rampage. It just makes the most sense because they get the most money out of it, because it takes less time to develop and make it. They already have it, right? So started thinking, what could be some of the games or arcade cabinets that we could see at Comic-Con? Well, ding, ding, only one thing comes to mind, comic book related arcades, right? That's what they've always shown in the past is X-Men, Marvel, those types of properties and IPs have been shown off at Comic-Con in the past. So it led me to start thinking, what is this going to be? And I'm leaning most towards a new Marvel versus Capcom, just because that's been one of their best selling cabinets. They've actually gotten the online into a really good place now with the updates and the development and the coding and all that. The online's actually pretty good now. All the games play very good online, except for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's still hit or miss. You may have caught a stream of mine recently where I streamed, but I was streaming Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I had a really good stream. I played online. I had no issues. There was very little lag. Games seemed to play pretty good. It was pretty competitive, and I had a really good time with it, even on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So point I'm trying to make is the games play well now. It's a great games list. It's a solid games list. It's basically the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 fighting collection without the Punisher, but it's got all the other games on there. And it's one of their best selling, best cabinets that they've made. So my thought on this is that they're going to bring us Marvel vs. Capcom, like a new one, whether that be an XL or that be another Deluxe. But I've got some thoughts on this. So just past, this is New York Comic Con, but you guys remember they did Marvel superheroes, and they used to do those huge, massive arcade cabinets. If you guys remember, will they bring the massive arcade cabinet back? I don't know, but they could, right? Even though they don't sell Marvel superheroes anymore, they do have Marvel superheroes on the games list. And this has some of the best artwork I thought that they ever had on a cabinet. Maybe they'll bring this massive cabinet back because they own the assets. I wonder if they got that in a warehouse somewhere. But another thought is that they had showed Star Wars in the past at Comic-Con as well. If you remember, they've actually shown Star Wars a couple of times, and they brought the pinball Star Wars. So is it going to be Star Wars related? Like, are they going to do a Star Wars XL or a Star Wars Supreme Atari Star Wars? That's quite possible, right? Or maybe they're bringing back the Star Wars pinball, because At Games never, for whatever reason, got the Star Wars pinball games. We know that Zen's no longer working with At Games. Are they back in to play with Arcade1Up? And are they going to just redo the Star Wars pinball again? Or are they going to bring us a new Star Wars pinball table, like an upgraded one with like 1080p or 4K with a bigger screen? All those types of things are possibilities as well. Just kind of throwing out some ideas there. But here's where I think things get really interesting, and you guys would have saw this on the thumbnail, but this is what I think is really happening. And this is just, I have no knowledge or any inside information on this. This is just me thinking. And I'd actually said this in the Arcade Insider stream. I was like, even with official Arcade1Up there, I was like, what if they make an X-Men 97 follow-up cabinet for Season 2? Because if you remember, X-Men 97 was shown off at Comic-Con a couple years ago, and it sold very well for them. And they could essentially just reuse their deluxe form factor, games list, all that, and just bring us new artwork. And that would sell really well. It would be well received. So this is just kind of like a mock-up here of what it could possibly look like. One of the cool things I think that they could include on this is a X Factor, because X Factor is going to be in the new Season 2 of which was just announced, and we just saw a leaked trailer of Season 2 of X-Men 97, and X Factor is going to be a big part. So I think it'd be really cool to kind of put that X Factor there right under the coin door there where they had Wolverine last time, and then give us like a marquee this time rather than just the black marquee with the X-Men 97 logo. Actually give us like a real marquee would be cool. And then here was just kind of my my mock-up, right? This isn't official, but just kind of my mock-up of like what a side art could look like, right? With the new season 2, you could do it all totally different, right? And not do like what they did last year, where maybe do like X-Men on one side and do X Factor on the other side or something like that. And I wouldn't go and try to do a bunch of characters and try to stuff like 12 characters or 10 characters into the side art again. I would rather see them do like 3 or 4 good looking portrayal of the characters on each side. Kind of like they did with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet that I own, where it had Ryu, Hulk, Zangief, Spider-Man. I thought that looked really good. You know, do something like this where you got like Jean Grey, Cyclops, Rogue, Storm on one side, and then have like 4 of the X Factor characters on the other side. I think would look really good. So you guys have to tell me, you know, what do you guys think of this idea? Do you think I'm on the right path? Do you think I'm thinking in the right direction here? Because they are going to be at Comic-Con. It's definitely going to be comic book related, no doubt about it. Why not use one of their best licenses, one of their best-selling cabinets to do this with? And Fat Hog has a good question is, do you think Arcade1Up and Basic Fun will still do Capcom, being that, you know, Iconic Arcade has the Street Fighter? And I think so. So one way that they can do this is they can reuse a previously released cabinet. That's one way they can hold on to that license, is to release a previous released cabinet. So that's another reason why it makes a lot of sense, is they can continue to secure the license and still own it as long as they keep releasing it. And this is one way that they can still have a tie to Capcom in some way, and really a tie to Street Fighter in some way, because Street Fighter is represented a lot in these games on this games list. So they can still kind of have a foot in the pool, you know, to say it in that way, you know, or like still kind of have their fingers in the pot or whatever still, in a way, by continuing to re-release this cabinet with just new artwork. And Prince Vinny says this would be awesome to have it again, even if it is the same games list. It gives new buyers, new people in the you know, coming into this niche community or into the Arcade1Up you know, ecosphere, gives them a reason to buy it, because it's new, it's different. They never owned the previous cabinets. Maybe they really like the show. They really enjoy, you know, X-Men 97, and they enjoy the cartoon or the comic books, and it gives them something new to enjoy. Or maybe it's a lot of us out there that buy multiple cabinets, right? That buy, you know, Marvel versus Capcom, and then they go buy X-Men 97, and then maybe they go buy the X-Men 97 season 2. They own 3 Marvel versus Capcom cabinets. I see this time and time again. There's multiple friends that I have on YouTube that have multiple Marvel versus Capcom cabinets. I know one person in particular that has the original Marvel versus Capcom in the old form factor. They have the MvC 2 original cabinet. They have the X-Men 97 cabinet. They have all 3 of them. And they're likely to go buy a 4th one if they make another one. And it's not so much about the games, because they already own those games. It's about the artwork, right? A lot of people buy these cabinets just to have something new and different and looks cool in their game room. And yeah, I see it time and time again, especially with this license. So easy way for them to sell something new. Once Disney made X-Men woke, I was done. I knew that was going to come in today, because they are doing that, right? But I'm okay with it. I thought the show was excellent. Like, I watched through the show last season and really enjoyed the whole thing, even with the minor changes that they made with that guy who like morphed and stuff, and you know, the changes that they made. I thought it was a good show. So this was the original X-Men 97, just for a comparison here, if you guys remembered. And some of the downsides were like the marquee. It just had that black marquee. But otherwise, I thought it sold pretty well. And there's like people in the community that buy 2 of them. They put them up back to back to each other, so it actually fits and makes a full picture when you have them on their side, like back to back, but kind of an angle. It looks really good, I think, when you do that. So this is one of those cabinets I think that they can make multiple of, and people are going to keep buying them time and time again. So that is our my prediction. Now, other predictions for Comic-Con. I do have a couple of others that I want to throw out there. So we talked about an X-Men 97 Season 2. We talked about a Star Wars, which could either be the Atari Star Wars in a bigger form factor, like an XL or Supreme, or maybe the Star Wars Pinball, maybe the re-release or a new version of it. Another one I kind of want to throw out there is the Punisher. You know that they took the Punisher off of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They took it off the games list. It was on Marvel Superheroes, but it wasn't on the Marvel vs. Capcom cabinets. And if you guys remember, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection did have the Punisher. And they just released the new Punisher movie, like 1-episode TV movie on Disney Plus, which you guys got to go check out. Really good movie. Like, it's like John Wick, but much more brutal, much more bloody, like really fun to watch. Like, I enjoyed that. I think it was like an hour long or so show, like movie, made for TV movie. And I made a community post on it back when I watched it a week or two ago. But they're getting back into the Punisher again. Bottom of the what I was trying to say here, or get to the bottom of it, is that the Punisher is coming back, y'all, in a big way too. And they're not scared to do the Punisher in the way that, you know, we remembered him from the comic books. And so that leads me to believe that maybe Arcade1Up could pull a rabbit out of the hat and do something really like that we were not predicting or seeing. And what if they did a Punisher arcade cabinet? Like, would you guys buy an Arcade1Up Punisher cabinet if they were able to make one? And if they did it in like the big blue cabinet form factor, right? They could reuse the big blue form factor and then throw the Punisher on there with the Punisher artwork. Would you guys get that cabinet? I most definitely would. I would get it day one. That would be like the ultimate. And I've talked about this over the years about a Arcade1Up Punisher. But man, that would just be a home run, wouldn't it? And the Punisher artwork is a huge seller in like the aftermarket third-party realm. If you guys go like Google, you know, the Punisher Arcade1Up, Joe Zabo's, a lot of these other retailers out there, third-party companies sell a ton of the artwork packages for these cabinets, and Punisher's a big one for them. I think this would be a smart move for Arcade1Up, but it would also be a really big win for us as the consumer to be able to get this cabinet and this game on a dedicated arcade cabinet. So that's another prediction I want to throw out there as well for Comic-Con, because when they started saying Comic-Con, I started hearing a lot of people saying, you know, off-the-wall stuff, like stuff we've even talked about, right? MK, Qbert, stuff like that. But why are they going to make why would they in any way want to show that off at a Comic-Con, right? Comic-Con's about comic books, right? That's where you show off your new stuff at a Comic-Con convention, is comic book related stuff. So you've got to lean that direction. Here is a big blue that someone had modded, and look how great that looks, right? Like how awesome and amazing that arcade cabinet looks. So this would be a big win, I think, for everybody if they make one. And I hope I'm right? I don't have any reason to say that this is happening other than just this is the direction I want to see them go. And this is the direction I think many of us want to see them go. And normally when it makes sense, you know, that tends to happen, right? Here's another modded Punisher. So there's a lot of them out there already people have done. And so that's it for me. X-Men 97, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet, Star Wars cabinet or pinball, or the Punisher. Those are my picks. Those are my predictions for Comic-Con. You guys will have to let me know in the chat. What are you guys thinking? So next I want to show you guys, because they did have a leak of season 2. This is actually not even out there. Like, there's not even an official season 2 trailer. So we're going to watch that. I also want to show this really quick too, because this was back when Kongs R Us was at Comic-Con just a couple years ago. So let's look at that real quick, because I had it loaded up.
So we're at Comic-Con at the Hasbro Pulse booth. So not only do they have Marvel, Transformers displays, but guess what? Our company, Arcade1Up, is at Comic-Con this year. They put out their X-Men 97 Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinets for display here. I don't think anybody from Arcade1Up is here. Let me go ahead and double check and ask. But they do have an opportunity to win this actual arcade. So hey, at least they made a presence here. They're partnering. It's not in the Marvel booth. It's not in the Star Wars booth. It's in the Hasbro booth this year. X-Men 97. First time checking it out in person. You know, the artwork is always nice. I think it's a nice display piece as a deluxe cabinet, but itself, it's just a rehash. It's just a reskin. So it's not nostalgic, but hey, it's next to the X-Men stuff. X-Men 97 here at Comic-Con. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so go check out Kongs R Us. This was his video from 2024, just a couple of years ago, and he's right. It is just a rehash, and I think that's what makes it make more sense, is that Arcade1Up's going to do what makes them the most amount of money, and rehashes are big bang for your buck, right? So doing a season 2 X-Men 97 cabinet with new artwork just for season 2, I think is a real possibility. It makes a lot of sense. It keeps their license with Capcom. It keeps them in the Street Fighter realm. Even though it's not a Street Fighter title, it does have those characters. And I know they want to keep that. And looking at this makes me think of another thing too. If you guys remember the iconic arcade, the Alpha one was supposed to have the diamond plate. If you guys remember, it was supposed to have the diamond plate on the game deck. And it didn't. It didn't have the diamond plate. And there's a reason why. Because Arcade1Up did that cease and desist letter. And we don't know for a fact that that's what that cease and desist letter was about. But I can almost guarantee you it had to do with the diamond plate. Because we never saw the diamond plate again after that. And so it just, you know, put 2 and 2 together, guys. And you can see how heavily they advertised the diamond plate. Like even on this promotional like display up above it. And then on the game deck, just how prominent it is on this cabinet. So they pushed really hard legally to try to keep rights to that. And they did that for a reason, because they probably had a plan in place to release a new X-Men 97 each season, you know, because there were going to be multiple seasons of this cartoon. So that makes just, you know, a lot of sense, right, guys? So next I want to show you a X-Men 97 trailer that we can watch that popped up online, and just got it ready for you guys so we can check it out together.
Previously on X-Men.
Move! School's right up ahead! It's over there! What did I tell you? The X-Men are never coming back!
We need to split up. Regroup somewhere safe.
Safe? This was the safe place for kids like us.
Something or someone yanked the X-Men through time. Scattered across the past and the future. We gotta get the X-Men back to the 90s. I'm back.
Yeah, I did see that, right? Vex had said, "Good show, Biggie. Hey, I see the diamond plate is on the Iconic Arcade's assets lately." I did see that as well, and I don't know if that's a dig at Arcade1Up, because they're not actually using it on the machines, but they are using it in their advertisements. So I wonder if that's just like a slight dig from John D to try to kind of get back at them for that. But I did notice that actually this week that they started doing that. So I wonder if John D has a little inside on that this X-Men 97's coming. That kind of just fuels that idea even more, right? Because, like, let's take a look. I've actually have that poll up because a friend of mine posted it. I did catch this too. You see that guy with the armor? That almost looks like the Punisher Iron Man armor. There was a comic book where the Punisher put on Iron Man armor, and that almost looks like that. So I wonder if they're going to bring the Punisher in on this season too. But this is what Vex is talking about. The diamond plate coming in on the poll. That what do you think of the Iconic Arcade Street Fighter XT from what you've seen so far? 60% looks awesome. 18% want a different title. 17% not for me. And 5% no different than an Arcade1Up. And this was posted on a live stream from Michael B. the Game Genie that Arcade1Up used in a recent advertisement. So interesting you brought that up. I'm glad that you did, because that kind of leads me to believe maybe this may be happening, right? Devastator Omega says, back to the 90s. Oh, you mean when life doesn't suck balls? Oh, man, I used to love, like, growing up, right? We're talking about two really awesome cartoons, right? TMNT, now X-Men. Like, this was prime 90s for me growing up. Like, you couldn't get any better than mid-90s cartoons back in, when we had X-Men, Marvel, TMNT, all that stuff, right? They're really digging into these, like, treasures, right, that we remember from our childhood. And it's awesome because it's introducing all these younger audiences into the stuff we used to love, and in a way that we remember it too. It's like they're kind of catering to us in a way with this. On this Marvel stuff, before we get into Iconic Arcade, because I want to finish and wrap up the show with Iconic Arcade, I've been playing a lot of the X Arcade using my PC, hooking it up to the X Arcade, playing my arcade games on it, not doing pinball, but actually horizontal screen playing arcade games. And there's one that I bought when it came out, but I never really went back to it. But a DLC dropped for it this last week, so I jumped back into it. It was Cosmic Invasion, if you guys remember this game. Ton of fun. And they've definitely improved it, like through updates and stuff. It plays so awesome. It's like, when you go to like Dave & Buster's, or you go to like a big time arcade, and you've got like the really big screen in front of you, and you've got like these like modern looking arcade machines, but it's like a beat 'em up game. That's what it feels like when you're playing Cosmic Invasion with the X Arcade. It's like having like a modern Dave & Buster's type setup in your home. It's so cool. Like the sound and the gameplay, it's so much fun. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, so this DLC just dropped, and I've got it on Steam PC, so that's where I'm playing it, but you can get it on PS5, on Switch. I know PD7's been doing some live stream gameplay. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. I'm kind of busy, like with work and stuff lately. I haven't had time to do the live streaming like I like to do. Just kind of give you guys like up front. I started a new job, or I'm starting a new job on Tuesday. Not tomorrow, but Tuesday morning, I'm starting a brand new job. It's actually like awesome opportunity, really good opportunity. I'm gonna be in like with a manufacturer that does computer chips and makes like the wafers for like the most advanced computer chips in the entire world. And all this is going to be driving what we call TSMC, which is a new chip factory here in the Peoria area where I live. And it's going to drive like all the new advanced AI we're going to see in the coming years. And a lot of it's government contract work. And even though I'll be under a contract, I'm not actually an employee, I'm contracted for this. I'm going to be a part of this. And it's like this huge, like $200 billion investment from the federal government to like make all these new advanced chipsets that will be pushing all this new advanced AI coming, which is really going to drive everything for our economy in the future. So I'm really getting in on the ground level on this like awesome job opportunity. But in order to get this job and to get through the background and all that that's required to like get the clearance you need for all this stuff, it's been like a huge undertaking for me for the last few weeks to get it. But I finally got it. I start on Tuesday. And even once I get there, I'm going to be even more busy. I was working a, at work from home job for the last, few years, working from home. This is going to be in office every day, all day. So I'm going to have even less time. So I don't know how much I'll be live streaming, but I'm definitely going to be doing these chill and chat live streams as often as I can. But I'd like to stream the Cosmic Invasion with y'all and have you guys join in, because it's online play where we can all, play together and stuff. And how cool is that, right? To have like a beat 'em up game, just like the old X-Men 97 beat 'em up, but it'd be modern. And it looks like they're going to continue adding new characters. We just got the Thing and Cyclops. So, and it's all new dialogue and stuff. You heard the call outs in that trailer. Like, no matter what, like if you're Cyclops and you have Jean Grey, they're going to interact while you're playing. And there's going to be specific call outs for certain characters you're playing or playing with. It's really fun. I encourage you guys to go check out Cosmic Invasion if you have not bought it or played it yet. It is arcade heaven. It is so much fun. So next, just want to wrap up the stream tonight with some iconic arcade talk, just a short segment on them. And might as well start with this video that I have from Bobby Vu that he posted on his Facebook. Go check out Bobby Vu. He helped make this cabinet. He had a real large part in making it. So it was interesting to see his little short he posted. So let's watch that.
There you have it, boys. Wheelcaster with locks. Retro 530. Huge shout out to him. Coin door. Badass. Push coin. You hear that? It works here too. Tutorial coming soon. Clean like a mother, yeah, 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 to die for iconic arcade.
Oh man, I love his "To Die For" iconic arcade, clean like a mother. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love when he does that. That's his go-to thing, his slogan. But I love it. But I like these push button coin buttons that he got. That not only looks good, how cool is that? Like, you can start the game with like the normal start button, but then you can go down there and press the coin slot button, the light up coin slot button, and that also credits as well. I think that's really cool. I would like to get one of these cabinets. I really would. And they're actually available. They're on Amazon now. So like, if I wanted to go buy one today, I could. They have both available. They have the World Warrior, and they've got this, Alpha as well. I'm a little disappointed though, because it has Street Fighter Alpha artwork, but it doesn't actually have Street Fighter Alpha 2. It has Street Fighter Alpha 2 like upper or something like that. It has like a different version of Alpha 2. And I don't know how I feel about that. Even though it's a better version of Alpha 2, like it's an upgraded version, it doesn't have the artwork for the game. And I don't know how I feel about that. But I think I would definitely get this one because of the worry of the bezel art. The Rexer show, love him or hate him, he'll tell you the truth if you watch his streams. But he really did like a huge segment on this and really broke it down for everyone. There is a bezel issue with the World Warrior. Even though the World Warrior is the more iconic, more nostalgic artwork, I feel like, because it really goes back to like the original, cabinet designs and artwork that I love. I even have the marquee behind me on the wall of that art. But there's a bezel issue where the bezel art overlaps the screen. So there's like a light bleed. And there is a new feature that they released where you can reduce the screen down to a smaller size so it won't overlap the bezel, but then you get the black bars on the sides and on the top. So I just couldn't deal with that. I'm way too OCD. Like, I couldn't do it. So I'm leaning more Alpha now because the Alpha doesn't have that issue. And even though it's got this black bezel, which is so basic and plain, you don't get all that artwork. At least it doesn't overlap and you don't get the light bleed. So I would go with this one now, knowing that. But it looks good, man. And he also did these little wheels on it, these caster wheels, I think you call them, down here towards the bottom, underneath. And so you can roll it around. So I think that's a neat idea because this is one of the heavier cabinets. It's probably much heavier than your Arcade1Ups. To be able to roll them around, and I've got hardwood floor, that would be perfect. So Bobby Vu really showed us some cool stuff there just in that little 60-second short. And I'm still in the market, especially now that, they're for sale. I don't have to pre-order. The problem is these things are way, 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 way too expensive right now. So let's take a look at that. And let me get here. So here's your Alpha 2, $1,434.99. It does say that it is ships from Amazon, sold by Spreetel. But I talked to Kevin. Kevin actually reached out to me by text message and had told me that this is not actually him selling these. Even though it says Spreetel on there, there's some other vendor or reseller that's selling them at this price. They have like some inventory that I guess they bought off of Spreetel and they're reselling them at this astronomical price, which is like almost double what these things are worth, if not more than double. So be forewarned, I would not buy them at this. They may end up selling at this price point, but I would not buy it and encourage them to do this. Because if we decide we're going to stand firm and not buy them at these prices, they'll lower them down to a more reasonable price. I know Kevin at Spreetel says he wants them at $7.99. He has stated it multiple times on the Arcade Insiders that he wants these cabinets to be $7.99. And if it were $7.99 right now on Amazon, I'd probably pick this up right now. which is kind of ironic because I could get an At Games 4K right now for around that price, but I don't really want the At Games 4K pinball with all the crap going on with the Zen lawsuit. The downtime with the At Games website, the reliability of their leaderboards, not knowing what pinball machines or pinball tables we're going to get for those machines. I just can't justify or make a good decision to say I'm going to go spend, $1,000 or $1,500 on a 4K pinball right now. But I could go spend $800 on one of these and be happy, I think. The only thing that's really, I'm really unhappy about, and still kind of a sticking point for me, is the online multiplayer. Not having online. I was 100% sure we were getting online play with these cabinets. I mean, it's even in the advertising today. I checked it today. Online multiplayer. These have been marketed from the very get-go until even today, as of this afternoon, that it's going to have online play, but these cabinets don't. So, one of my favorite things about the Marvel vs. Capcom is I can go online and play people. Killer Instinct, I can go play. Those are big selling points for me on those cabinets. Even though I'm not that good online, I like to be able to play it that way. So it does have online updates. They are sending out updates, but it doesn't have the online play. Now the World Warrior, it's even more expensive. It's $1,047.99 on Amazon right now. So just absolutely crazy, these prices, right? And evidently Kevin, don't get mad at him. Spreetel has nothing to do with this. He wants it to be $800. It's just like a supply and demand type of situation right now with these. And it's out of his hands because he's not actually selling these. Devastator Omega says it's a great cabinet. It's not understanding the hate it's getting since nothing is ever perfect. Definitely worth the $799, but not what I saw on Amazon from Spreetel going for $1,500. That's ridiculous. You are not lying. You are not making that up. This is insane. This is like highway robbery right here. I told Kevin this, and I'll tell you all this. I do believe in capitalism, right? U.S. capitalism. I believe anyone should be able to charge any amount that they want. If people are willing to pay this much, they should be able to sell it for that amount. I don't agree with us telling them they can't do it. But I can tell you guys not to do it, right? I can tell you not to pay this much. And that's what I'm telling you today. Do not pay this. Stanzi saying, I think this cab be $699 and with the sell $599, $1,500 is ridiculous. Absolutely is. I would consider $799. $699, I think, would be the sweet spot, and $599 would be a deal. You're right on the money there. No idea what kind of crack they're smoking at $1,500. That's insane. Absolutely it is. Here's some of the other things that they have with the ad. Arcade thrill, retro design meets responsive controls for an exciting arcade fun at home. Powered by a Raspberry Pi 5. We found out this week, if you guys watch Glenn's retro show, Glenn's FU arcade is not going to have that Venom Viper board anymore due to RAM costs. They're not going to be able to develop that anymore. They're actually going to include an Orange Pi 5. So if you guys were in the market to get Glenn's FU, it's going to have the same Raspberry Pi 5, not the same exact board, because that's an Orange Pi 5, but it is the same technology, same power and all that in both arcades. Interesting enough, right? No online play, no online multiplayer. That's a lie. Don't know why they're advertising that. Accessible system updates is true. You can get that. And a premium build. I'll agree with that. I think these are a premium build. Absolutely. I am for the people. I'm for the viewers. You guys come first. There's a lot of what we call shills in the home arcade community that just accept free product And when they do that, they give up like their respectability, like their respect people have for them, because they never say anything bad, or they're always on the manufacturer's side, always, no matter what. Doesn't matter what happens or what people do or what happens, like as a result of it, they're always on the manufacturer side. And I'm the complete opposite. I'm always on the viewer side. You guys that watch this channel, that support me, I'm always thinking of you first. And if I get a free product, that's secondary to that. And I think the manufacturers respect that of me, because when I do say things, I say things that are true. It's not like I'm making it up. I'm not over exaggerating anything. I'm just giving you guys the facts, right? Here is Bobby Vu's picture right here of his machines. So he has the Double Dragon Revive, which was like a custom cabinet that he made for a Double Dragon event. And then this kind of gives us an idea or a picture of what the Double Dragon cabinet's going to look like next, coming up. Now, Kevin at Spreetail has told me I'm in the running for a possible advanced Double Dragon review cabinet. Now, I don't know if that's still the case, because I still haven't even gotten my Wonderland review out, which I will. I'm just, when I do my reviews, I don't just haphazardly throw out reviews. Like I try to do like quality, good content, high quality production value on my reviews. I edit and then I re-edit and I make sure everything's just perfect before I ever hit the upload button. And that's why I don't just put out like a review as soon as things comes out. I normally wait like a month, 2 months, 3 months after it comes out. I have it for a little period of time to be able to give you guys an honest, thorough review of what I get. But the Wonderland is coming out, and that review will be coming. And it's going to be one of those eye-opener reviews that really tells you everything. And I just lay it all out, and you're going to enjoy it. It's going to have high entertainment value to it, just like my previous reviews. So hopefully I'm able to prove that to them and still be in the running or still in consideration for that Double Dragon review unit, which he's saying it's probably like 6 months out or more before it actually releases, but maybe I can get it like a month in advance, kind of like Mike of All Trades did with his cabinets. That way, you guys get like a good idea of what you're pre-ordering or purchasing before you get it. But here's another picture of it. I would love to get a Double Dragon too. I just think the artwork's awesome on it. I like the 3-button design, like the 3-button layout on this. I've always loved that about my Final Fight cabinet. Like I have the original Arcade1Up Final Fight, and I've always loved that 2-button design because you have all that extra room on the game deck, and it just feels good. It just plays good. It feels good to have like an authentic button layout that's dedicated to the game that you're playing. And we always talk about, and I heard Papa Brad talk about this, where he was talking about, well, they've already done Double Dragon, right? Iconic Arcade had already done Double Dragon. And that's true, they did. And that cabinet looked really good. We can see it in this image. But it had a 6-button layout. And that just doesn't, do it for me like a 3-button like this would do for me. It's just like you're talking, 2 different things. In where one's a multi-cade, this is a dedicated artwork, dedicated cabinet with the actual, button layout, gameplay feel of like a real Double Dragon. So I'm pumped about this, even though it's not like the greatest game. Like comparing it to Street Fighter, it's 2 totally different games for one. But Street Fighter's definitely on a higher level than Double Dragon. I did hear John D say that he thought Double Dragon was better than Final Fight, and I can't agree with him on that. I do agree that the artwork is better on Double Dragon. The dragons look freaking amazing, and the artwork is like, you cannot replicate that. It is one of a kind. But the game Final Fight is a better game. I think he was a little off on that. You guys will have to tell me what you think. But John D did have a pretty good post this morning that I wanted to share with y'all. So this is hot off the press. So let's take a look at this. We'll read it together. So John D says, I love the debate that people are having with the reviews for the XT cabinets. People are ridiculing others for having a very high score or a low score. That's why scoring is based on a 1 out of 10 rating. It can get contentious because there's no standard to what a 10 means. Some will say a 10 is perfect and nothing should be improved. Well, in this meaning, nothing can receive a 10, so why even have it? 9 should be the standard, I suppose, then. That's a good point. Is anything perfect? Probably not, right? When you're rating something 1 out of 10, you should never, give it a 10 out of 10. And I agree with that. Then others would say that a 10 is the best in class of its time and sets the current standard, but not necessarily perfect. I've given a few 10s in movies that weren't perfect, but set the standard at that time. Godfather 1 and 2, Empire Strikes Back, Lord of the Rings, Pulp Fiction, The Dark Knight, Dumb and Dumber, LOL. Some people would say that grading the XT based on their non-experience, a 7 is just absurd. Because in education grades, a 7 is a C-, not a B, like someone has been saying. So if the XT is a C-, what are the grades for the other cabinets in its class? What's the grade for the WWE Supreme? Good point. I'm not a WWE fan, so I'd probably give it a 5. End of the day, the XT is far from perfect. But I get where there are polarizing opinions, likely because there's no common ground. I think he makes really good points in this because it's all, up to the reviewer, right? What they like, what they find important, what they're enjoying. There's just so many variables, right? So I think when you watch a review, you got to take it with a grain of salt and then kind of compare it to what do you enjoy and compare what you enjoy to who you're watching. And that's why it's good to watch multiple people and to get different opinions, right? Because we're not all the same. We're all very different in what we like and what we enjoy. But yeah, so that's it on the iconic arcade stuff. Stanzi says, which is not something Amazon can do or would do. JJ says, oh, really? Glenn's going with the Pi 5. Dang. And he really loved to compare the Viper Venom to the Pi 5. He did. I just think he's kind of in a, money situation with RAM prices where his hands are tied right now. But he said he'd make the Pi 5 16 gigabytes of RAM now, so I'm sure. But I think, no, his Pi 5 is only going to have 4 gigabytes of RAM, is what I overheard Friday. So, yeah, that's what I heard. But maybe I'm wrong on that. But you guys fact check me. I think he said 4 gigs on his. Glenn's GRS FU cabinet. Nick One for Life, as long as they keep true to the authenticity of the original cabinet, they can't go wrong. And the iconic the iArcade Double Dragon looks weird. I love my iArcade. I love it. And the Retro Mania is the only thing I'm not a fan of because I'm not a wrestling fan. I would much rather have the Double Dragon art on mine. But I got into the iArcade a little too late. And I didn't even have the opportunity to get a Double Dragon. But I'm happy to have one. I love it. Like, I've been playing in Papa Brad's tournaments. He's got, I'm getting introduced to so many new Neo Geo arcade games thanks to Papa Brad. What was the one we played this last week? I can't remember the name of that. These are games I've never heard of that he's doing in his leaderboards and his tournaments. And I loaded up a new shoot 'em up, like a shmup Neo Geo game onto my iArcade for that tournament. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I've got a Metal Slug playing right now. So get some Metal Slug in. And Kevgrat's saying, what is he blabbling about? Where is the online he promised? He just needs to stop talking. I know. We need that online. All right, so just real quick to kind of wrap this up, and I'm going to go through this stuff quick with y'all. Real quick, because we're going on 2 hours, y'all. Even though it's been 3 weeks, I got a lot to say. But I just picked up this Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered on Switch. Having a blast with this game. I used to play these Legacy of Kain games back in the day, and I can actually play this game on PS2 emulation right now on my laptop. But it's not the same. When you play it on a remaster, like the graphics, everything plays better. Like the controls are better. And I picked it up on the Switch online store for $16. And I'm having a blast with it. Like I told you, I guess I've been playing a ton of video games lately, guys. I've probably put in 30 hours of video games over the last 3 weeks since I saw y'all last. I'm looking at picking up a Switch 2. They've got a new bundle now where you can pick your game. So if you don't want the Mario Kart World, I was thinking about getting it now because I can get DK Bonanza for free with it. Well, it's not actually free because you're paying $50 more, but it's all included at $500 with Bonanza. So I want to get Star Fox. I want to pick this up. So I'm a huge Star Fox guy. Like I love this game. I've loved it since the very beginning. I even picked up the RPG Star Fox for GameCube back in the day that nobody else played when I was growing up. So I think it's time to get a Switch 2 and $500 and then another $50 for Star Fox. I'll have Donkey Kong and Star Fox. So I'll probably be picking this up here in the next couple weeks, especially before the price goes up. Price is about to go up on Switch, and I don't want to pay that higher price point. So I want to get in on it, even though they'll probably come out with an upgraded model around Christmas, I bet. But I just got to get one. I'm also probably going to pick up this 007 First Light game. This is the collector's edition. Definitely not getting this. They've also got like a Legacy edition, which is insane price. I'm just going to pick up the standard copy of it, probably $70, I think it is. But new 007 game coming out here in a few days. I started finally jumping into Spider-Man 2. So I bought Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation back November during Black Friday. I bought it for $30, but I'd never jumped into the game. Well, I started jumping into it this week, and I did that Sandman fight at the beginning. Holy shit. This game is an absolute banger, guys. This game is all it's cracked up to be. Like, I've only played the intro fight against Sandman, and I was just like blown away. And I've beaten the first Spider-Man for PS5. I've beaten Miles Morales for PS5. But this just like blew me away. It's on a whole nother level. Thank you, Papa Brad. He says, here's a super chat. Stay legit, Biggie D. Appreciate that. $1.99. Let's run a super chat video for Papa Brad's Gaming.
How on?
Thank you, man. Appreciate the $1.99. Says, stay legit, Biggie D. So yeah, got the Spider-Man 2 going. Absolute treasure of a game. Banger game. And then like right when you beat Sandman, Kraven the Hunter comes into play. Like that's the opening scene for the game is when you beat Sandman, Kraven the Hunter's coming to New York. So cannot wait to start really digging into this. But that's a system seller right there. Spider-Man 2. A couple of movies. I'm not a big movie buff, but I've got to see He-Man. Like I've got to see Masters of the Universe, guys. This movie, like I grew up when I was real young. I'm talking like 7, 8 years old. I was collecting He-Man action figures. And then my parents came into my bedroom one night, said, He-Man is evil and it's unholy and it's not Christian, and we've got to box up all your He-Man. I even had the Castle of Grayskull, and then we're like, we got to put it all in a box and we've got to take it from you because it's evil, and God told us that you can't collect these anymore. and they bought me G.I. Joe, and I just never loved G.I. Joe like I did He-Man. I actually never collected action figures ever again after that, because it like totally ruined action figures for me ever since then. So kind of a full circle moment. I've got to go see this new He-Man movie that's coming out. And they've also got a He-Man like video game, beat 'em up video game that's coming out as well. So I'm pumped for that. But yeah, so go check out He-Man. This is like big deal right now. It looks like it's actually going to be a pretty good movie. But they got all kinds of toys already. I don't think I'm going to get back into the toy collecting again. But you easily could, right? With all this He-Man stuff going on right now. With the movie. So I'm going to go check this out, you know, day one. Here's a little bit of the trailer here. Some people are saying the He-Man is too small, but it's okay, right? You can't have, nothing's perfect, right? But as long as they do all the different characters justice, and it looks like they are, they're going to have like all the action figures in this movie from what I've been catching. Even the Castle Grayskull. Jared Leto's going to be Skeletor. So this is going to be good, guys. It'll be so good. So I can't wait. But it's finally here. It's coming out in like just a couple of weeks. So go check it out. Let's get one good look at Skeletor here. Yeah, he looks good. And I don't know. I don't think you'll actually see Jared Leto. He'll just be in his costume the whole time. This is a show that I'm going to be watching that's coming out soon. Spider-Man Noir. And this comes out on the 27th. So in just a few days, it's going to start. You can watch it in black and white or color. And I'm a Spider-Man fan. Like, I watch everything Spider-Man. So looking forward to this new TV show that's dropping this week. And that's another reason why I got into the Spider-Man 2 video game. Is once I beat the game, there's an unlock where you can unlock this version of Spider-Man, and you can actually play it in black and white in like an older New York. So I'm looking forward to all that. So actually the show launching kind of got me into finally playing the PS5 Spider-Man 2 game. But that's going to have Nicolas Cage, which is like a big-time actor. He's never done a TV show before. Just a couple other quick random things. I got Hogwarts Legacy for free on Epic Games. They have these free to play or free to own games on Epic Games. So you guys got to go check that out, where you can pick up free games, like where you own them. And this week is a Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. Let me show y'all. It's called Free to Keep. Every week, they're doing free games now. So go check it out. Like right now, you guys can get Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered until the 28th at 8 a.m. And if you just click on this and you have an account, you own the game at that point. So you got to pick it up, right? Nothing's better than free. And they're doing this every week now. So I thought that's cool. And talking about the X Arcade, I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6 on the X Arcade. Actually playing online. I'm terrible at fighting games, but this game I'm actually competitive. Like I'll win sometimes in ranked Street Fighter 6 games using the X Arcade, this little handy arcade control panel I have next to me. So I wanted to do this. I wanted to share a couple of things. First thing I'm going to share here is my, if you guys want to add me, I'd like to start gaming with you guys. So my Nintendo friend code is right there. If you guys want to add me to Nintendo, I'll put it in the chat here. And I've been playing a lot of my Nintendo Switch lately. So if you guys want to jump on a game, just message me and we'll jump on a game. That's my friend code right there. PS Plus is super easy. because it's just Big D. And I got this name back when PlayStation 3 first had online. They first launched online for like the first time ever. And I got BIGGD. How easy is that? And then on Steam, I'm just Biggie D with the 4 Gs. And a little backstory on why I have so many Gs is because I was creating a YouTube name, and BIGGD was gone, and then BIGG was gone, and then BIGG with 4 Gs was gone. Someone had taken it. So I just added a Y in there, and that's how I got the name, Biggie D. But that's my Steam username. So add me, guys. There they are. And then last final thing I'm going to share with y'all is I promised a tournament, a pinball tournament. I know I've been very busy, but I'm off work tomorrow. So I'm going to start the tournament either late tonight or tomorrow, and it'll run for a full week, 7 days, and we'll close out the month of May. The full week, last week of May, will be dedicated to the Empire Strikes Back Pinball FX tournament. So this will be on Pinball FX. I appreciate you guys for the 17 votes in the community post. We could have done the newest volume 10. It's volume 10, right? Zen Studios. I think it's volume 10. Let me see here. Because I was sent a beta copy to stream it. I should know. Yeah, volume 10. So I streamed it, and I put that in the poll. It was Comet, Fire, or Diner. We got very low support, but we got, in the month of May the 4th be with you, we got 59% of the vote for the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. So we'll be doing Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. It'll be a private password. So I'll post all that in a community post. I'll also put it on the website. So you guys check that out and look for that. And if you're friends with me on Facebook and stuff, I'll send you the details. But there'll be a password you'll need to know, and you can join the tournament. And it's a private tournament. It's only available on your PC via the Steam or Epic Store, PlayStation 5, or Xbox. And unfortunately, the MetaQuest VR, the Pinball FX VR, and the Switch, you still cannot play in these types of tournaments. I'm hopeful that Zen will get that figured out where they can play in the tournaments too. But for now, it's limited to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And it'll be a private Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back tournament just for channel members or channel viewers. And anyone can participate just as long as you know the password. And that'll be posted in a community post. And I'll also put it on the website at Home Arcades. And we'll do the whole tournament. Papa Brad's Gaming won our last tournament. We did the Addams Family. And that was back in like October. And we have not done a tournament since then because I've just been so busy. I haven't had a chance to do it, but I want to bring it back. So check that out. And this will be represented on At Home Arcade. So when you go there, there'll be like a coin, just like the Duke Nukem. You'll be able to click on it, and we'll have the leaderboards all posted there with everyone's scores for like full transparency and everything. So go check that out and participate over the next week. We'll do a 7-day long tournament. So you have plenty of time to get in there if you guys want. But appreciate you guys watching. Let's go. Let's fucking go, guys. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Front, right, and center. Long and short. Maybe the Cornercade will be streaming tonight. I don't know. But if not, this was the Home Arcade stream for tonight. Hope you guys have a good one. Burnt Orange is saying Stanzy, just super chat it. And Papa Brad says, I predict Zen will try to sell you on all your tables again because they want you to use the Unreal 5. I hope that is not true because I've bought all the tables twice already. I know that Zen is trying to make it where if you buy one version, you'll have all the versions. Like if you bought FX3, you'll get FX, and the other way around. You get FX, you'll get FX3. Like, I know they're trying to do that now, so hopefully they'll get that figured out. Make sure we're not constantly buying the same tables over and over again, because I definitely get that. And Stanzi says, I would, but only 26 folks watching, so not sure a super chat is necessary. I'm sure Rexer and Kevgret will address it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. And it's been a lot of fun, over 2-hour long live stream. Great catching up with everybody. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday evening, and I'll see everyone soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.